your forecast first. Sponsored by Natax Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, good evening to you. A very warm and muggy night across central Illinois as we take a look at the satellite and radar picture, and you can see that things are looking pretty good. Hey, look at that over there. Temperatures are in the 70s still right now. 77 in Champaign, Decatur, and Mattoon. 76 in Springfield. School forecast in the morning. Out the door. We're going to grade this a B minus. 70 degrees on the way to school, but how about 88 on the way home? We're going to have to grade that one a C plus. All right, come back. We'll talk about when we get a break from this wild weather. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
Recreational marijuana becomes legal next year, and tonight another city decided on whether or not they'll allow it to be sold.
Not everybody's retiring tomorrow, and the city's not closing tomorrow. Pension costs are rising, and it could cost you your safety. What could be cut next?
If they're short, we borrow from them, they borrow from us.
Honor guards help each other out, but there aren't always enough people to go around. How one found an interesting way to fill the gap.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. A decision made by Decatur City Council was met tonight with both loud applause and strong opposition. Hundreds of people showed up to a special meeting. Council voted 6-1 to opt out of allowing retail marijuana dispensaries in the city. Dozens spoke during public comment, both for and against it. Now, the incentive for cities to allow recreational dispensaries would be to collect money from the up to 3% sales tax. But the majority of council members said tonight they did not want to allow more opportunities for drug use. One council member suggested amending the opt-out ordinance to include a provision of a binding referendum on the next ballot. That would allow the people to approve recreational dispensaries, and the council would not be able to deny or reverse it. Council also voted tonight against allowing marijuana processing facilities in Decatur, but they decided to postpone on deciding what restrictions should be placed on the open use of marijuana come January 1st.
In New at 10, a man who tortured his 10-week-old daughter was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Our media partners at the Herald and Review report then 18-year-old Jamonta Blythe burnt his daughter with a heated metal pipe. The baby had second-degree burns on her right eyelid, neck, and left arm, and had pinch marks and abrasions on her body. Several communities are rallying together after a crash killed 2 people on Friday. Lori Samples and Tyson Mendoza died. The crash happened south of Sullivan at 800 North and Route 32. Police say Samples pulled out in front of the bus. People in Sullivan wore blue today, which was Mendoza's favorite color. The group also started a meal train for his family. Samples taught at Our Lady of Lourdes School in Decatur for 30 years. People who live near the area say they're worried this might happen again.
It's a dangerous intersection. I do drive it often. Scary things happen. I think a stoplight would be helpful.
IDOT reports show there have been 29 crashes at that intersection since 2008. During the past 10 years, IDOT says it's made several safety improvements, adding larger signs, blinking lights, and rumble strips. State police are still investigating Friday's crash. Information about visitations and funerals are on WCIA.com. A couple in Champaign County used a tragic crash to create a big mission. For years, Barb and Jim Esworthy have been advocates against drunk driving.
Barb died this weekend, but her husband Jim says their impact won't. WCIA 3's Emily Braun is with us now. So, Emily, how did they get involved with this cause?
Jessica, they came face to face with it years ago. In seconds, they lost more than they could imagine. But from a great deal of physical and emotional pain came a powerful message, an influential organization, and a whole lot of good. 22 years ago, Barb and Jim Esworthy were in a car with their 2 daughters. A drunk driver crashed into them. It took their daughters' lives and changed theirs forever.
It started almost instantly.
As soon as the couple got out of the hospital, they formed an organization dedicated to drunk driving awareness called Journey.
My contribution to Journey was not really very much. About the only thing I had to do was, hey, with Journey, let's have a double chain.
For Jennifer and Jackie, Esworthy wears their memory over his heart. Now he's ready to remember his soulmate.
We were kind of a package deal.
And that's how the law enforcement leaders they worked closely with, like former Champaign County Sheriff Dan Walsh, always thought of them.
If I followed Jim or Barb, I couldn't do it. I was just too choked up. That's how well they conveyed to everybody the terrible tragedy that they went through, and that other people do when they suffer from drunk driving incidents.
They raised money for squad car cameras for the U of I Police Department and Champaign County Sheriff's Office. Officers showed us how those cameras capture undeniable evidence of drunk driving. That's exactly what the Esworthys hoped for.
It's been unbelievable that the journey is still alive and well, so to speak, 22 years, 16 weeks later. And she did all that.
Barb may be gone, but Jim says her mission will live on. Barb was 77 years old when she died Friday from a medical issue. Her visitation was today. Jessica?
All right, Emily, thank you so much. New at 10, this year's flu vaccines are mismatched for the strains that are infecting people, but public health officials still want you to get vaccinated. The World Health Organization meets twice a year to select which strains will be produced for vaccinations between the northern and southern hemispheres. 2 selected earlier this year don't match the strains that are now popping up. Doctors say you'll still get a little bit of protection, but it won't be as good. Flu strains can change genetically, so when flu season officially rolls around, it could change to match with the vaccine strains that were made for distribution.
Rising pressure from pension debt is squeezing cities in Illinois to make tough choices, and those choices could directly impact public safety. WCIA 3's Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell is live in Springfield with his first story in a new series looking at pension pressures. Mark, pensions are taking a toll in Springfield, but city leaders think they have a grasp on it.
Paul, but it wasn't easy to do that, and the pile of pension debt is still getting bigger, and the problem at large still is not solved. Over the last several years, the city raised taxes. They cut back in several key departments, all still while struggling to make ends meet. I sat down with the budget director to see where the state's capital city could go from here, and most importantly, could city police and fire still be on the chopping block?
This is government, and government means we need to be providing services today. We can't do that if we're putting all this money and shoveling into the pension funds.
Springfield's budget director, Bill McCarty, says rising pension debt pressured city leaders to cut back on public works and the police force.
We used to have 281 sworn police officers. Now we got 249.
After downsizing staff and increasing taxes, the city's budget guru says Springfield is running out of options.
There's nowhere left to cut unless you get into the quote-unquote sacred cows, which would be police and fire. We can't afford to have 281 officers anymore because we don't have the resources. We have less resources to put into those services because they're going elsewhere, primarily in the police and fire pensions.
The city has maintained 12 stations, 12 frontline engines, 3 truck companies.
The city council considered closing one fire station in recent years, but decided against it. Chief Alan Rainey says firefighters don't sign up to run into burning buildings just to get a pension. But after a career of serving others, he appreciates a state that has his back.
As you get closer to that, the end of your career, it's nice to know that retirement security's there.
But with rising pension debt and a shrinking tax base, city leaders still see tough choices on the horizon.
Obviously, anybody would want more people on the street if they can, but the fact is we can't afford it. One of the reasons we can't afford it, one of the primary reasons we can't afford it, is because pensions are escalating the way they are.
McCarty says he's not sweating it just yet, mostly because he's expecting Governor Pritzker to deliver on his promise to ease the pension pressures on cities and towns spanning Illinois. This is just our first in a series of snapshots in these cities and states that span Illinois to see how this pension problem is rearing its head. We should note that while Springfield has tinkered and tried to look at some ways around the margins, other cities like Peoria, for example, have taken far more drastic measures, recently laying off half its police force. Paul?
Yeah, a lot of promises have been made about pensions, and there's still no solution yet. Mark Maxwell reporting tonight from the capital city. Mark, thanks. Well, Springfield's police pension fund is currently 55% funded. The fire fund is just 46% funded. Moody's Investor Service gives Springfield city bonds an A3 credit rating, which is one step from slipping below investment grade bonds.
They help give veterans a proper military funeral, but honor guards don't always have enough people. How they're getting help from an unexpected source.
Plus, you have potholes, and then you have craters.
Oh, it was like 3 miles an hour to get out to keep from tearing up your car.
But some friendly neighbors fixed one church's problem in this heartwarming story.
And later, Illinois football got a chance to take a break last week, but it wasn't all rest and relaxation.